Alright, hi guys, welcome back, thanks for joining in. Here we are with Frank and myself doing the next video on the Landrover. I love Landrovers, I've had them for quite some time now. And yep, we're going to discuss what happened and what Frank did to destroy this Landrover. Okay, I don't hold it against him because I knew his first car is going to destroy anyway. He's 19 now, but he was 18 when he started driving this thing. And yeah, he pretty well, yeah, I can't say the word, but yeah, he stuffed it.
I didn't put it into a tree at least.
Yeah, at least you didn't put it into a tree. Make sure you talk up so we can get you on video. Now, okay, come here.
Yeah.
Now, while you're there, please explain what you did to destroy this car.
Diesels don't like being at 6,000 RPM constantly.
No, diesels don't like being, not this diesel. This diesel was okay. My mechanic kept on telling me not to take it over 4,000, but I wouldn't change gears until 4.5, and it didn't mind that. But you didn't run it at 4.5, you ran it at 3.5. Okay, but unfortunately we had the car had some hoses that were broken going to the turbo that had split, and of course she wasn't able to get up to 4.5 real well. But we had it repaired, and then all of a sudden she was able to get up to 6,000, and I showed you that, and that wasn't a good idea, was it, Frank?
No.
Look into the camera, Frank. Yeah, what did you do?
I blew it up.
You blew it up, didn't you? Yeah, you blew up the diesel. You kept on running it up to 5,000-6,000 revs. Okay, you want to go pop the bonnet? We'll show people what happened. Alrighty. Okay, as you can see, hopefully you can see, we have new hoses. Okay, we have all these new hoses that the mechanic fitted, because all these were split. Put new hoses in to get to the turbo and back out to the engine. And with all these new hoses, we didn't realise they were decayed, did we, Frank?
No.
When we had the car fixed again. Because it was off the road for a couple of years while we actually ended up with that lemon. Okay, I still like Landrovers, but this one here, I'll discuss that one on another video. Yeah, it doesn't matter what make car you get, there are always lemons. Frankie's learning that slowly, piece by piece, and he's learning how to drive diesels. And unfortunately, while he was driving this, the truck was out of action. Well, I was driving the truck, and he wouldn't drive the truck, he'd only drive the car. And once he blew this one up, then of course he took the lemon for a drive, and he ended up breaking that one too. So we ended up with 2 broken Landrovers.
3 weeks later.
Yeah, 3 weeks later. Okay.
That wasn't
but
my fault.
because of his lead foot, and it's his lead foot that did the
my lead foot due to driving the trucks all my
well
entirely.
Your lead foot came because you kept on driving the trucks and you wanted to go a bit faster. And this car, because of being able to get up to 6,000 revs, which is not what it's meant to drive at, okay, lead foot Frankie took it to 6 grand and kept taking it there. And of course, one of the first things that go with a motor when you take it over its prescribed revs is, in most cases, you'll blow the head gasket, which is exactly what happened. It blew the head gasket. Now, what else blew on this thing?
The fuel distributor.
The fuel pump. The fuel pump blew. It had a problem.
It had a leak.
Probably
from the turbo overpressuring it.
Yeah, the turbo. Well, something happened anyway. Either way, it cost too much to repair because you have to take the motor out, do the heads, and I can buy another car, which we did, which is the white car over there, which we bought for less. Well, that's only cost us 2,500 so far, and we've just got to get a few things done to it. Some bushes and stuff on the spring and shockies, and a couple other bits of electronics, the electrical rather, because it doesn't have much electronics. It's a serious one, and she'll be up and ready and roadworthy, and then we'll get it registered hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we wanted to go through all the weird and wonderful stuff that went wrong with this car. Because this Disco 1, okay, although the paintwork isn't much chop anymore, she is, as I said before, one of the best cars I've ever driven in my whole life. I'm not into, well, I used to when I was 18, when I was Frankie's age, okay, I had a bit of a lead foot myself, so I understand what he did. I understand why he did it, so I can't hold it against him because I used to do it too. But in my day, it was all petrol cars. And petrol cars, just like that V8 Landy over there, and especially the V8 Landy around here, I'll take you for a little trip. This one here, which has seen much better days in the past, that thing revs out to 12 grand, or did. It doesn't anymore. But that one's been worked. I'm not sure how it's been worked. I've got to pull it apart to find out, which I'm going to do one day. Get the motor out and pull her apart and fix the head gaskets and get it going again, because she's been worked. She's one hell of a motor in that thing. Not like this one. This one's just standard V8, nothing done to it. But the one and the other one, it's the first day I drove on that, like it'd boil water in the radiator from the time I drove it out of this, from here to, was already starting to get too hot to drive by the time I got to the driveway, to the road, which was only 50 metres. And by the time I got to the service station, which is only 1k down the road, I had to turn her off. had to try and cool her down because I couldn't drive home again. She was too hot. Yeah, and that was running on gas and not petrol, because she's got both gas and petrol. But this one is the one I fell in love with, and I remember getting pulled over by a policeman up past Toowoomba. If anybody's been up to Toowoomba here in southeast Queensland, it's quite a bit of mountainous terrain up there, and there's some nice roadways going up and over through the hills. And I was cruising. We've had the family. We were going for a drive, and we're cruising up and down the hills at 140 k's an hour. Now that's maximum speed for this thing, but she'll cruise at 140 all day, at under 4,000 revs, not at 5 or 6, but she'll cruise under 4,000 revs. She'll cruise up to 140 k's an hour all day long, which she did. And I got pulled over by a policeman who was coming the other way, and I knew he was going to pull me over and fine me. And we had a nice little chat about me just cruising, because this thing, this particular car, the Series 1, okay, drop the bonnet again, Frank. That particular car, I have, as I said, it's one of the best cars I've ever driven in my whole life. At 140 k's, I felt totally safe. She would drive wherever I pointed the wheel, she would go. I could, you could hold onto it, you could try and swerve it, she wouldn't move, because she's all-wheel drive, and she just wouldn't leave the road. Admittedly, I'm not so sure about those tyres, but the tyres we had on at the time, she just wouldn't go anywhere. She would just drive 140 k's an hour. She was totally safe. No roll, no nothing. It was fantastic. This car here, from the moment I bought it, I never felt safe in it. Even at 80 to 90 k's an hour, I already had problems with it, because it did not go where you put the wheel. You turn your wheel, it didn't want to go there. Okay, it was just different the way the way they drive. I'm looking forward to driving this one, because she's got the same suspension as that one, of course, and yeah, she's comfortable to drive. But the Series 2, I have to experience another one. I want to try the upgrade. But yeah, at 80 k's an hour, I was already getting scared to drive this one. At 100 k's an hour, I never went there. Didn't like going 100 k's an hour in that car. This thing here, I was safe at 140. Middle of 145 is probably top speed, is it? But yeah, I cruised all day. 140 is great. A little over speed limit, of course, but it was a nice drive. And yeah, otherwise, yeah, it was a bit emotional for Frank at the time when he blew it up. Getting out and going, he hasn't been out since. But he did find out what he was doing wrong once he ended up, because he ruined both cars, so he had to drive the truck. And of course he learned real quick what he did wrong with this one. Alright, now this one, yes, it is a nice little four-cylinder diesel, And the hassle is, or the thing is, you have to drive it like a truck. Land Rover's a small truck. Okay, they're not a race car. They're a small little truck with a tractor gearbox. That's how they were originally built. And what did you think of it, Frank? Did you like this car?
Yeah.
You loved the car, didn't you? Looking forward to getting another one just like it. This is what's going to happen. Here's a beautiful car to drive. Okay, well, and yeah, all right. I think that's about described. Is there anything else we need to let people know about what happened to the car? What other things killed it? It was basically your lead foot, wasn't it?
My lead foot.
Your lead foot.
I'm driving a truck.
Lead foot Frankie. Lead foot Frankie. See, was there anything else that went wrong with getting the revs up? It was basically because we put had the new pipes on.
Yeah.
Everything else was fine.
At the same time, this thing failed.
The fuel pump failed
So
because of the pressure you were putting the motor at, because of how fast you were turning the thing over.
yeah, well, it does have this pipe. I think it's this pipe that goes all the way to the turbo.
It goes to the turbo. Yeah, it's got too much pressure.
So I think there's a seal right here that would
Yeah.
start leaking if I turn it on.
So yeah, so that was it. It was all about the revs. The important thing about diesels, it's, you know, there's only a few things that'll stop a diesel. No fuel, no oil,
No way.
no air. You've got to make sure your filters are clean. And then, of course, from there on, it's all about how you drive them. And a diesel, most diesels, especially the car diesels, don't really like going over 4,000, 4,500 revs. Okay, plenty of torque, but just don't like going over that rev count. And this one, she was able to do it like she did. When I first got it off the mechanic, she wound out to 6,000 revs and went, holy jeez, 6,000 revs out of a little diesel. And then I made the mistake of telling my son. What a mistake that was, hey Frank? That's what killed it. Look at him. Look at him. He's the culprit. Frankie. Big Frank. Love you, Frank. But it's great. It was a good lesson. Better than what I did when I was his age. I totaled a few cars in my time. But in those days I used to fix them all myself too. Good fun. We'll talk about that another day. But thank you, Frank. Thanks for explaining that one to us. And we'll go through the Series 2 Disco next time.
That one's at least a better story.
That's an easier story to take, isn't it?
Yeah.
That one there's an easier story. Alrighty. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. See yous.